welcome to my tube. Standing turtle. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I spend most of my days collecting data like an esoteric Sherlock Holmes. Drop it back now, y'all. Drop it back. I just like clowning around. I got to, man. I got too many creative juices flowing. If they just get stagnant, they can percolate, and that creative juice kind of turns sour. I can get crabby, sours, damp, low vibrational. I want to do this. I want to do that. My ego starts freaking kicking in. Justifiable anger. So I spend a lot of time staying in the present moment, grounding my energy. Take it, Earth. Take it. Take it. Take it, Earth. I can't take it, so take all my juice, my soul juice. I got so much juice. I'm on fire. People are on fire. I just use my creative juices constructively. I made cookies today, Crunch a Bunch and Reese's Pieces. I make can of cookies. They're about 80-90 proof. They fix all that hurts. See, because I don't take prescription pills. I prefer natural medicine. And I have a lot of hurts. I have a lot of physical pain. When I can't get a handle on my physical pain, then my mind and my body and my spirit kind of it convoluted the difference between my physical pain and emotional pain, so got to meditate today about hour 15, hour 20 minutes. That was, and it wasn't like I went in a full meditate state. That was just me laying there being still, because the energies are crazy. And I even got a new warning. I subscribe to the disaster prediction app from Ben Davidson's Visions Space Observers, and there was one earlier about 3:45 Pacific Standard Time. Cosmic ray alert. I've seen those happen. That ain't the part that's new. The part that's new is multiple stations showing enhanced cosmic ray bombardment despite the KP 1.5. But he kind of mentioned it this morning, so it ain't like meh. But the thing of it is, it's and it says, continues to say, see health alert page, lightning, tropospheric wind enhancements, and then chances of technology, increased tech disruptions probable. Tech gets glitchy the higher you vibe. It gets glitchy. Winter. I got all kinds of ideas about that. Instead of having the dual processor, why doesn't they're so tiny now, just have standalone processor for every individual function. I got all kinds of ideas, man. Nothing but ideas. I got nothing but time to think about ways of doing stuff different, because the way that the ideas that they're coming up with these right now, they ain't good. They ain't viable. Ever hear something called the Jesuit oath? Go down that anthole. I worked at a Jesuit university. Anybody that's too devout in one thing, they have a tendency, unless they're really spiritually balanced, which I see very little evidence of spiritually balanced human beings in life. So, and especially in the university system, they're supposed to have freaking I don't know, living modest means, I guess. I don't know. I always understood that, because they're just clubs, It's just like the Jesuit community. Every year, the Tibetan monks would come and do their thing, and the endowments, and it's, you pay me to do this and show up and do this, and it's just like, all the employees that work there, the kids get free education. But as a single person, I couldn't get it free. I just get it really discounted as an employee there. But if I had a kid, the deck is always stacked against me. So I find loopholes, and I learn to be comfortable regardless of the shit that people fling at me. I just am a resilient human being. Like my t-shirt, came up with it when I was 9. Straight people like rainbows too, because they do. I'm a visionary, and the visions that I see are visions of inclusion. And you can't say, everybody's welcome, and then have hierarchical tiers of membership being required to pay. And especially in the spiritual community, when all this stuff is just freaking free knowledge that everybody should know. And if you know it, it's kind of your your responsibility as a spiritual being to pass on what you know for fun and for free, and then teach yourself other viable means as a means to currency. See, I tell everything all my ramblings here, my data collections here, but I also let people know I'm an IT professional, man. That's what I'm tech support. And I'm a lot cooler than the freaking D-bags that I worked with year after year in the industry. You know, ones that freaking gave up on life a long time ago. That's cool. Anyway, it's their path. I'm not here to judge, man. I gave up on life in this life. And then I freaking reconciled. I resurrected. When I found out that I was Pisces and Vedic. I resurrected as the feminine energy when I always only identified with the Aries sun, the masculine, and I was always smaller than everyone. I'm a runt. I was only 6 pounds 4 ounces at birth. Mom never drank or smoked. She was just that stressed out. I got Addison's disease, so I was always came into the, I was always, wow, I'm up here anyway. And when people are up here all the time, not only do they always have, they move around all the time, because things always hurt and stuff, and you're just always, I was the one in school that couldn't hold still because I just had so much energy. I was just like, well, that kind of feels neat, and wonder what happens if you do this. And I just always screwed with stuff, and I was getting electrocuted and almost drowned in, and because I was a clown and I'd screw around, and then one time, I almost did, and they thought I was screwing around, so I never cried wolf like that again. These are how we're supposed to learn life lessons. If you move more into spirit, this is the path I've taken. Other people I know, it's just easier to take the path of ego, the world of the 3D, but somehow the divine always has a way of poking its way through and making its existence known. I was listening to Tanya Gabrielle. She's a good talker. I like her talks. I was listening to her talk right before I started talking here, and and she's another one talking about being your true authentic self and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep doing that because I never didn't. Even when I was in these paradigms where I had to act like everyone else. This is military bearing. Am I standing at attention right? I've been screamed at by freaking. No, I wasn't important enough for the wing commander. I got the vice wing commander, but he had spit going all over and everywhere, and. But the thing of it is, I'm not making light of my concept, but the thing of it is, old boy probably had a bottle of whiskey, 30-year reserve or some shit in his desk drawer. That he's probably pulled on already a couple times today because I can freaking smell it on his yell, So it's like, condemn me for doing the same shit that people do. I see all these news stories right now about how about these organizations are changing their behavior. They're not gonna they're like the Redskins are changing their name, and I'm just like, motherfuckers, never shouldn't have been like that to begin with. Never should have been allowed to begin with. Such and such country, no more animal testing. Never should have been allowed to begin with. Ever. So don't go looking for freaking praise for shit you shouldn't have been, I did notice today the control freaks are winding up. I was talking about the Jesuit and the governor of California. He's a Jesuit. Dude, all they are, it says right there. And it wouldn't be, I wouldn't even care if it was just like, but I've seen interviews where he's like, yeah, I'm a Jesuit, he touts it, he's proud of it. So if you're proud of it, it's history and you for its history. Just go check out what the oath says, man. It's weird. But it's all about money. It's all about the white man's chess game. Dance, puppet, dance. dancing. So what we got to do, us creative folks, is we got to keep coming up with the ideas and, of changing the real earth in your own local communities. And you ain't gonna, Rick's been talking about for a year, you ain't gonna be able to rely on any government thing because they are up in the ivory tower. And they got all their little pawns, the policemen, the stormtroopers, surrounding all their buildings, and they're gonna frickin' barricade themselves in. And then they're gonna make us pay for it all. People need to frickin' learn how to frickin' do things smart and tactfully. Stop being so hasty, man. Stop being so hasty. People are only gonna frickin' get themselves hurt. I guess somebody got frickin' hit in the face with a projectile up in Portland. I didn't even know people were still, actively protesting. But you live in Portland, these are all video game kids. These kids, I guess it's good they're standing for something because they don't do much around Portland. It's a stoner state. There's a lot of money here. It's a lot of fishing, a lot of camping, a lot of air, and people go just doing what they want when they feel like it. Life at leisure. I never had. It's so weird. There's like this two worlds, because I always had to be where I said I was going to be on time and stuff like that. And then when I showed up there, the people that I had to meet, the professionals, they're always late. Never on time. That always meant something to me when people value my time enough to show up on time. And these professionals that always pay themselves so much because they're oh so important. And then I worked in these paradigms. See, then I went and worked in hospitals, and I went and worked in I worked in the radiology department of a level 1 trauma facility in Omaha, and I saw what they were doing most of the time. Yeah, there was sometimes that there's needed to be a sense of urgency, but most of the time, no. And doctors and men of importance, they do weird shit. There's this one dude. He used to freaking they had Dr. Jim down by the cafeteria, and people would tell stories about how he'd blow his snot rockets against the wall because I guess someone else's will clean. Just stuff like that. When you gotta live gross and expect somebody, and that's what an egomaniacal human being does. I mean, look at every freaking fairy tale. They're all Jafars. They're all freaking Yosemite Sams. They're all these dastardly creeps that just want to take what you have and keep all their stuff too. It's just weird. It's that's why I called today's talk leveling the playing field. I tried to have a talk this morning and then it got interrupted, so I just deleted it. I don't usually do that, but it's a new world, so you can't get too stuck on patterns, because that's the thing. People are really gonna have to learn how to go with the flow in the next few weeks. I'm just hunkering down, staying at home. I'm just trying not to save any money or spend any money at all. So, it's business as usual. I've been doing this for 3 years. It's like every time I go out, there's just more bullshit. But I meditate, so I'll put my mask on over my earphones, so it's more in front of my face instead of. So that makes it so I can cooperate when I go to the laundry, and I just do my stuff and then get out, and then I just wear, So I mean, I can do what I got. I can play the game. I'm tired of freaking the bureaucrats putting people through shit just because they want to keep paying themselves. Because isn't there a majority rule? I'm pretty sure there is in karma, in universal law, and they're hurting too many people because of a health risk. The numbers don't add up. It don't. And people just need to just start living their lives, and they ain't gonna give everybody a ticket. They can't. They don't got. Look at the cops. They're all fucking fighting. Dude, there's this news article. They glorify themselves, man. There was one about this one cop who he bought a freaking homeless dude lunch out of his own pocket. Dude, you are a 37 test score on an ASVAB. 36 is the lowest you need to get in to military. High school education, you are pulling in about 84,000 a year. Everything you're wearing is bought and paid for by the man that you just bought lunch for, by him having nothing. Dude didn't even have pants on. So how, and he was so freaking fat. The cop was so fat because he's so full of his own abundance of eating his own feelings, you know, because that's what you do. People eat their feelings and then they get obese and they become unhealthy. And then when there's a physical threat, oh my God, it's everybody else's fucking fault. And guess what? Some people don't get sick. You know what that means? Let me say it again. We don't get sick. That means sick shit doesn't land on us and then we walk 10 feet and then it jumps off of us. We just don't. Thank you, Crow. We just don't get sick. More of us are like that than not. That is the majority. Those people are who you should be living for. But no, they keep getting federal funds the longer they stay closed. Look, go downtown to your state capitol. All the buildings are getting facelifts. Look at the skylines. There's cranes everywhere. They're all getting rebuilt. They're all getting refaced. They're all getting rebranded, marketing update. They're all getting new gadgets. While the cracks of the society are getting wider and wider. They're closing restaurants again. I never win. So it doesn't matter what happens in the world. It doesn't benefit me. I don't get all the same benefits that everyone else does. That's why I'm like, dude, I got my own services. You want a photographer? You want an IT professional? You have problems with your technology, your home network, your home security on your network? You want to know the ins and outs? Want to know how to watch stuff without being monitored? Anything you want, anytime you want, without going to the movies. I'll teach you everything I know, and then you pay me what you think it's worth. It's all gratuity, see? It's a heck of a deal. You got trouble with your car? You got mechanical trouble? I'm trained by the United States Air Force. I'm an age ranger. There ain't no danger to an age ranger. Or danger is no stranger to an age ranger. Now I'm a new age ranger because this is the new age. All that patriarchal bullshit is just falling down like London bridges, man. All that stuff about, oh, they're gonna try and promote another war here because it's in the astrology. They do it every time these certain planets align up. Swing, it's like Q swinging dicks. Q flared masculine, toxic masculinity. Save your own face, Maybe if you create this disruption over here, they won't notice that you ain't really a man. So the truth is coming out. It's 2020, the year of clear vision. All some of us have to do, all I got to do is be chill enough to sit back and freaking watch them their egos blow themselves up and short themselves out psychologically, and then they just show their ass, show them who they are, and then it's like, yeah, okay, you're just verifying what we all know. I'm tripped out by that freaking Travolta storyline though. That just trips me out. It's like nobody knew she was sick, and then she dies, and then they show a picture of her, and they're like, and then she's like, all just doesn't look good, a shell of a person. Her spirit probably already crossed over, That's the thing is people are transitioning right now because their power of their spirit is more needed, behind the scenes because freaking Earth is gonna get. People think it's nutty now. People think like it's. Nope. I keep looking at the calendar. I'm like, no, and it's just because people aren't getting quiet. I'm not seeing more people do the disciplines to get more spiritual. I see it here and there. I do see it. I do like see. There's this one dude I like. He's becoming kind of a clown in his creativity. I can't remember his name right now. He's a Vedic astrologer, and he's getting his creativity's all fired up right now. And I found this monk. Someone recommend. I love when people recommend stuff to me, and he does like a 10-minute workout that he shares, and it keeps you agile and stuff. I haven't. It's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to work up to it because I'm tight, and he does a lot of kicks and stuff like that. I mean, I could do it because I'm a dancer. I dance. It's my exercise. So it's a lot of what I already do, but just a lot more force, like tension and stuff like that, which is good. And then my juggling ball should be here soon. So this is what I'm doing to be proactive to ride these waves of energy that are coming up. Because I get wound up, and there's days I just stay home because I'm a hothead. And if it's hot and I'm already a hothead, that's if I go out, that's just my ego. That's just me looking for trouble. And I'm too old to look for trouble. I'm supposed to be the peacemaker in every situation. I've shifted from being now I'm middle. I don't even know if my mom. I don't even know if I'm gonna live to be as old as mom. Honestly, she'll be 70 this year. God willing, creek don't rise. And but she's so sensitive, man. And I'm just like, shoot, if I'm as sensitive as I am now, I hope I start making friends soon. Because, some days I just don't got the juice to do all the things that I know that I need to get done. But every day I still get everything done. I just have to push through harder. And then, and then I sleep. Sleep is just cell rejuvenation to me. Sleep is when my spirit wanders. And meditation, as soon as you drop down to a certain point and you start to feel your body, all this earthly stuff just falls away, and you just remember that you're spirit. And that's what Tanya Gabrielle was talking about. Is it more and more? See, I always lived just from my spirit, and that this is just all my soul sack, and I just had to do the best with what I got, because there's a lot of parts about me. Like, I'd always been males in the last couple incarnation. I was always male, so now I feel like Ellen Barkin in Switch, where I'm like, this is weird. Like, I had braces. I paid for braces, but I was actually gonna have top surgery just because I wear bow ties and men's shirts and the way they fit. And they're just like, they're in the way. But I know other women that are completely, heterosexual, that they're just like, yeah, they have kids. They're just like, God, they're just in the way. I just don't want them. They just don't. It's just hot, extra closed, And I'm habitually single, so it's not. I mean, I don't know. So it's just all weird, and I always get tangled up in my clothes. Just being a human being is just a weird experience, and then to see the way people treat each other, just because they don't have a spirit, and they just like to see us that do how we react, because we have emotions, and they don't have any. They don't, dude. They ain't no human being that is more spirit than ego on this earth can pay themselves as much as those bureaucrats do, and have just more and more people are becoming homeless. More and more people need, but they're too busy talking about how they're going to distribute funds. It's just a smoke and mirrors game, and I can't wait to see how it plays out, because the end of the year, the earth is going to be in an entirely different place. Entirely different. It's not going to be the same at all. And it's going to be really, and it's really going to suck, because I know I have an idea, maybe could be wrong, because ain't nobody 100%, but I got an idea about which of the readers are going to be all about I told you so. And I freaking hate when people say I told you so. I hate it. I hate it. I hate I told you so. It makes my third eye twitch when people are like, I said it. And I say it too. That's why I'm like, every time I want to say it, I'm like, but sometimes I say it. I spot what I got, man. When I talk about the egomaniacal, it's because I know what I got in me. I know what the potential of me, because it ain't all love and light. I'm full spectrum. I'm all the colors of the rainbow. Even purple, which is really my least favorite. You like how it's in the color spectrum? It's embroidered. The lady I used. You like my turtle? This is my standing turtle. I got it in Tulum, Mexico. Mm. So he's like a standing turtle like me. Anyway, it's my design, and it's like, and it keeps like it's distracting. It's tactile. It's tactile. So when I'm dealing with a dumbass and I can't say what I want to, what I'm thinking, because I don't want to hear you're mean. What is that? When did everybody? When did every adult turn into a child? Or when did just I just don't understand how people can take on emotional frequencies of emotion based on things that are just facts. Maybe that's the Aspie in me. Maybe it's all the childhood trauma where I had to disassociate. My spirit came up out of my body so it wouldn't feel the trauma of what it was experiencing. And then once it was over and coast was clear, my spirit came back. Took me a long time to calm all my aspects back in. Took me a long time to do that. Well, it took me a long time to learn how to do that. It took me a long time to find some good examples that taught proper ways. Because I got to learn by example. And it's hard. There ain't a whole lot of good examples. I keep looking every day. I'm finding them. I know they're there, like the monk, and that's why I like people when people send me stuff, Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate that. Ayo. I appreciate it. I appreciate the recommendations, I don't always get to look at everything and everything all the time, but, I do appreciate it. And they always come at the right time, usually when, you know. But Tanya Gabrielle was explaining about how, and this is, it just affirms what my heart feels too, and that is that people are just coming into the fact that they have a spirit. That's all. That's all. That they got a spirit, that they're coming into the heart of things, like being their kid again and doing what you wanted to do, what all that stuff, that joyful stuff. And we're just getting more and more examples of what happens when you don't come into spirit and ego comes in. They found her. They found Naya. Naya. That's 3. It's just thank you for your service, to your contribution to source, to love, the highest vibration of love. Maybe and Joe's, he's gonna be all right, because she's always gonna surround him. Her energy is never gonna leave him. She's always gonna be his guardian angel, and the power. And she never really saw the power that she had on Earth, and people. Now she'll recognize the power, because living is the hard part, man. Dying, I don't know why people are so scared to die. I mean, I understand why, I worry about, I would love to be out getting an account, at least recording, because I'm not for either side of any argument ever. I just want to record both sides of history. I ain't trying to get caught up in no sides, because I think it's just a circle of greed, and if they they really cared, there would be a lot of more peaceful means to do what they're, except the destruction of it. It don't add up. That's just blood. That's like children tantrums, people burning off steam, throwing tantrums because they never felt like they had control in their life. So all those years that you had to listen to your mom and dad or whatever, and then now you're gonna freaking act out like that. Go do art. See, that's what happens when they take away art and music and people don't have positive outlets. They play video games and stuff, and then they freaking watch weird stuff on the interwebs, and they're never taught to believe in something outside of themselves, a greater power that's bigger than themselves, that controls things. Just, you know what, dude? Kids, adults, people of all ages, go trip out on astrology. You want there to be peace on earth? Find out why you got buttons. Find out what's disturbing you and why you got to take it out into the world and be disruptive to everybody else. You know, everybody. I thought people were supposed to be connected and God and love thy brother and all this blah blah blah. You know, all this stuff that they're just paying to cover up secrets. But guess what? You ain't going to heaven no how. I got all weird kid excited emotional this morning. Right off the bat, there's a scene on uh, my Grey's Anatomy. We're trying to do something a little bit different than just Longmire day after day. So today it was Grey's Anatomy, and a woman, they were sending her off in styles. They were sending her off to heaven, and everybody had like their iPads and everything out, which that's a different story. I need to focus here. And they were all celestial, you know, the stars, and they're, you know, and that is what I believe, that when we take our last breath, that we go out to into the solar system, and then we just hang. We hang in the vibrational frequency in the cosmic constellations in which we have been a part of since there's been parts of things. That's why we're never alone, because we always have our soul family. They always show up right when we need them. We always get the right positive message when we're feeling too low, when we can't remember to remind ourselves to raise our own frequency. There's always going to be somebody that you can look to go, thanks, man, I needed that. And I try to be that person to some people. Like, I'll tell, like, I like to give examples, so maybe people could use them if they want to, if they don't know how to do these things. Because I do better than paint. I don't spend money on coffee. I don't drink coffee no more, so I think it's pretty unimaginative that people are just stuck on the buying somebody coffee thing. So I do different stuff, you know. People always want food. If you're hungry and they're asking for money on the side, you know, so sometimes if I'm at the store, I'll get 2 loaves for no apparent reason. And I'll see some, oh, I guess this is for you, you know. People are, you know, when they need stuff, they're not going to turn stuff down there that's smart. It's just caring about people. You just got to care about people and look people in the eye. And I'm autistic, and people are like, I don't look at people because I know that they're just they're just not going to look at me. And I try. Some days I'm just like, I'm going to look at everybody I pass in the eye, and I'm going to see how many people look at me in the eye. And people just don't look at people in the eye, and there's no spirit in that. There's no human connection. That's the window to the soul. I was 2 years old. I had gifts. 2 years old. Yeah, they have bad eyes. Bad eyes. They have bad eyes. Everybody has these gifts. I am no different than anybody else. I just always listen to my knowings over any other person, adult, anyone else. Sometimes a pretty girl, I listen to them over my own knowing, but we can't. Ain't nobody 100%. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a pretty face. What can I say? So we all got this. It's just people ignore them, or people listen to other people outside themselves that have, you know, that just aren't in it. They're just there's I call them the coin flippers. They're people that are playing both sides, that just like will cause cognitive dissidence and just disagree with you just to be contrary. See, I'm a contrarian. I'll interject different ideas, but if somebody has a better idea than I do, I'm gonna be like, fucking hey, let's do that, man. I'm sorry I didn't come up with that myself. That's what a balanced person does. They don't take other people's ideas and shit like that and make them their own. So, anyway, just another day the contrary way. I mean, maybe it was one of those, maybe it was a detriment that, you know, the stuff that I got to zone out on when I was a kid, 2, 3 years old, was like Captain Kangaroo. Stuff like that, where they had the opposite guy, where everything was upside down and everything everybody said was opposite. So I just always kind of figured that in some capacity is true, and in an energetic sense, as I started going down that trajectory of really learning my energy, I'm really learning my energy. I really am learning a lot about energy right now and how it affects me. And so I guess once I figure out how to put the words into what I'm experiencing in ways that I think other people might interpret, then I'll start explaining more what that means to me. But when you know your body, when you start to get to know yourself, see, because I feel things in temperature. I'm hot. I run so hot. I'll go in right now and I'm not even fit, and I'll touch mom and she's like, "God, you're hot." I just run. I. That's why I always have fans on and circulation and stuff like that. Because I just burn it. We all do. We have enough energy to freaking, power trucks to the moon and stuff. I mean, stuff like that. So I don't know why people are spending so much money, which isn't real on shit when we all have the power within ourselves, literally, to do this stuff. But the opportunists will opportune. The bureaucrats are about to throw little baby bitch tantrums, and they're all gonna all fall down. And I just gotta remember, Marge, this is how you get to practice what you talk about, and don't, just try and teach people how to get back up and act different. And you just don't gotta be that way no more. And it ain't always easy, but it's always worth it. That's about all I got for now. I hope you have a rad evening. Peace.